Hey now, let's learn a bit about marketing channels and sources in the attribution dashboard in Goldilocks. Now, to talk about marketing channels and sources, we really need to talk about touches, right? Because everything here reflects a touch. Here's 1,895 contacts created, and we're showing the channel, we're broken down by marketing channel. Which channel did their first touch occur in? Over here, we've got the channels and sources that these first touches occurred in. Right down here, we see the first touch channel was display ad for this person. The source was doubleverify.com. All right, so importantly, every touch has a channel and potentially a source. Now, some great information about this is already in our knowledge base article. Let's go over to our knowledge base article, and I'll click on what is a touch, and it's going to tell you that a touch occurs when a prospect engages and that we create touches of these types. But let's move down to here. As I just said a moment ago, every touch has a marketing channel, it should say, and potentially a source, right? So as touches are created, Goldilocks determines what channel the touch occurred in and what the source was. So let's look at some examples. If a prospect clicks a link in a Facebook ad and arrives at a net results landing page, we'll create a touch that is type visit. The marketing channel will be paid social because it's an ad, and the source will be Facebook. So there's your channel and source. Here, a prospect clicks a link in your Instagram bio. That's not paid. So we'll create a touch with a marketing channel of organic social and a source of Instagram. Let's say that your prospect clicks a Google ad. This will be paid search, right? And a source of Google. So paid search versus paid social, right? So let's jump back to the dashboard and get rid of that thing. And when I click this, we're going to get an alphabetical listing of all the marketing channels Goldilocks is currently able to categorize your touches into. So one of them is affiliate. So if you use affiliate marketing, there's certain things that Goldilocks will watch for in the clicks, in the UTM tags and or the referring URL to determine if it's an affiliate click. Direct mail is reserved for future use. If you're got QR codes going out in direct mail, soon we'll have the ability for that to be categorized if they visit your site as coming from direct mail. Direct traffic. This is kind of the absence of UTM tags on a link, the absence of a referring URL. I could go on about that, but I should keep moving. Display ads. Now, this particular customer I'm logged in as drives a lot of traffic, a lot of activity through display ads. Here we've got 570 contacts created through display ads. We can see that they had contacts created. 244 different contacts were created during this date range for this customer via display ads that got clicked on IBM.com. And 166 at Walmart.com, and 71 at there. So you can see 25 came from Apple.com, and so on, right? So this customer is, pushing display ads out there into the world. They're getting clicks, and those people are converting and turning into contacts. We can also see that they're creating opportunities from display ads somewhere over here. Not as many opportunities, just 3. So there you go. Anyway, they're creating a lot of contacts this way. Back to marketing channels. Email marketing. If you send out emails from net results and people click on it, we know where it came from. We're going to call that touch. We're going to assign it to the marketing channel of email marketing. Inbound calls reserved for future use for phone calls, offline sources. Internal traffic. You probably shouldn't see too much of this. Internal traffic is especially not for contact creation. But anyway, no touches recorded. Let's click on that. It's going to filter for people that no contacts were created with no touch, but I bet they have opportunities created with no touch. There you go. So during this date range, I had 104 opportunities created where Goldilocks did not observe any touches. There's nothing wrong with that scenario, but we report on them here to be accurate. We didn't want to filter out the ones where there were no touches, because then you could look in your CRM and say, wait a minute, what about all these other opportunities? So we'll get rid of no touches recorded. We'll be back to where we were. Organic search and organic social. So this is someone searched on Google or Bing or Baidu, or, you want to know which search engines we track? That's also here in the knowledge base article. We can go to recognized search engines, and there's a list of them, right? Recognized video platforms. Recognized video platforms, recognized social media platforms, etc. Back to our dashboard and back to our marketing channels. So organic search, organic social. Let's come back to, well, other campaigns. If you don't use, this is kind of an artifact that can come from people putting UTM tags on their campaign, on their email links and such, and or traffic that they're driving to the site, but kind of not doing a great job. You can have other campaigns show up when you didn't use a UTM medium or UTM source that we really recognize, but maybe you just had a UTM campaign. This is the only tag you put on it, for example, right? That'll show up as other campaigns because we're not able to tell, what was the channel, what was the source in some of those cases. Outbound call, reserved for future use. When you tag, doing outbound calls, recording them in your CRM, we'll be creating that as a first touch. We'll be creating touches from those down the road. Not yet. Paid search, pretty obvious. If they're clicking on if you use the right UTM tagging, like the word paid or anyway, we'll determine that it's a paid search or paid social. Physical event, kind of for future use pretty soon here, where you'll be able to do, say, like have a form on an iPad or kiosk at your physical event, or you can upload a list. You'll be able to create touches where they came in via a physical event. Referral is when they came from a click on a third-party site that probably didn't have any real UTM tags on it. And let's take a look at some examples of refers right here. So they have traffic being driven from, the first one looks like Microsoft Teams. The second one's somebody called skillup.org, then something, the governor of Maryland, and something called National Fund. So these are just third-party refers that drove traffic to their site that, in this case, resulted in opportunity creation during this day range. So third-party refers, unknown. There's not much traffic that filters down through everything that ends up unknown. Video hosting platform. So we recognize traffic from certain video hosting platforms like YouTube, Vimeo, Wistia, and Vidyard. And virtual event. That's also kind of for future use. So these are the various marketing channels, and we're automatically categorizing the traffic as it comes in. You may be curious, how do you categorize? How do you make those decisions? Well, let's go back to that knowledge base article. And right here, how does Goldilocks determine the marketing channel? Here we have the exact rules and the order in which they are applied in our, code behind the scenes. So if the UTM medium, if you use UTM tags, which you should, equals social, and the UTM source matches any of our recognized social media platforms, then we'll call it organic social. And same thing if the referring URL matches one of those, we'll call it organic social. I won't take you through all these rules. Feel free to read them. Paid social. There's lots of different ways to end up as paid social. So this is a guide for you, right? You can take a look at this to ensure that your marketing touches are categorized in the right channels and that Goldilocks recognizes the sources as you'd like them to be. We're very open to feedback on what we're doing here and anything we might be missing. So thank you for listening and your interest or use of Net Results. Bye.